What's up, guys?
Hey, DJ. It's another Dennis there.
Yeah, we got two Dennises, so I'm gonna call myself DJ
Hi, Dennis.
today.
Hi, Milos. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Yeah. Listen, Dennis, did you just come back from Brazil?
Yes, sir.
What? How did you get to Brazil? How did that happen? I thought you were with NP.
I thought so too.
Oh, so you're no longer with them, and you're now with Black Skull.
Look, no, I'm not with Black Skull yet, or not right now. But Marcelo reached out to me, and Beto as well, and they wanted to bring me to the expo as a type of Olympia legends, all that stuff. And man, I can tell you, you've been to Brazil. Hey, insane. Fans are insane. I had a blast, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it looked like it. Did you go to the? Because you saw, and Marcelo always brings these special BOPI, the special police.
Oh yeah.
Did you go to their headquarters?
No. But I met their commander, or how you call it? Yeah. So introduced me to a lot of people, but they were working at the expo the whole 3 days. That was fun, man. They had a challenge. The line was incredible.
Yeah.
To make this challenge with the BOPI, special forces.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
He's been doing this. He's been doing this with them forever. And I remember he took me, and who was with me that year? Bob Ciccarillo. We went up to the headquarters, where they literally, where they train. It's like kind of in the favela, so you have to always walk upstairs so they get used to it, because they go into the favelas and find these drug dealers or whoever they're looking for, and they have a whole wall full of pictures, like mugshots, where the people that they're looking for. And when we talked to one of the guys, he said, "Yeah, when we go out, we don't go to arrest. They don't arrest people. They go to kill."
Can you imagine that? You're trained to kind of kill or be killed. It's insane, man. It's crazy. I was like, watching these guys, and they're also like bodybuilding fans, and showing me thumbs up, me the same. But it's just insane how the mindset is, and I heard like what they have to do to kind of get through the all what is it?
To qualify to be on that team, yeah.
Exactly.
It's almost
insane, man.
It's almost like the Navy SEALs. You got to go through a lot of training to even be considered one of those special. Did you see the movie? There's a movie with them, 2 parts actually. I watched it. It's in Portuguese, but it's crazy. What's up, Chris? Thank you for chiming in, my man.
What's up, my brother? Good to see you. But listen, Dennis, DJ. I never call you DJ, but because other Dennis is here. Mine is say a funny story, because mug shots, police, and everything. One time I was with you in Thailand. Remember the Russians robbed the bank, right?
Yeah.
So the police.
Milos, don't tell the story. Let me tell the story, because if you tell it, you're not going to tell the truth. All right, I'm going to tell the story. So there was a bank robbery in Thailand, in Pattaya City, where we were at the same time. And they actually killed the security guard in the bank. There's a couple of Russian guys. I think, was it 2 or 3, Milos? It was 3 of them.
There were a few of them,
3, was it 3? Was it more? Anyway, so it was at least 3 of them, 3 Russians. So, and they immediately captured them, right? So I had a friend that was connected with the police, and they asked me, said, "Listen, we're gonna bring him down to the police station, and we need to, because the bank workers, they need to identify if these were the guys, the ones that they caught. So we need to do a lineup." So they asked me if I can bring some foreigners. I said, absolutely, not a problem. I brought Milos. I brought a few guys from the gym. So we went down to the police station. So check this out. So now they have them all in this room, right? They put these 3 guys in there, then Milos and 3 or 4 other guys from the gym. I'm outside sitting with the police looking into the tinted window or whatever that was.
The numbers.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody had a number. So the girl was looking, and here goes Milos Sarcev. Milos has had nothing better to do, standing in there, nothing better to do than to try to have a conversation with those guys. Because I think he speaks a little bit Russian. I don't know. Do you speak Russian, Milos?
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar language. So,
Yeah.
The guy recognized me,
So he's talking to this guy next to him. It's like, hey, I don't know what he was saying. And I'm standing outside, and the cop's like, what is he talking to him about? I was like, I don't fucking know. I was like, I don't know.
Anyway, Dennis opened the side door and said, shut the fuck up. Hey, guy recognized me. He was a fan of bodybuilding. So what I'm going to say, I'm being a nice guy. I'm just answering whatever he asked. Right?
Yeah. Milos just trying to be nice. He almost forgot he's in the lineup.
I was a front cover page in the newspapers in Thailand. I have it saved.
Yeah.
With number 7.
Oh, me too. Me too. I got newspapers too. Front cover. Anyways, hey guys, let's talk about who followed the Orlando Pro. Was anybody in Orlando?
I watched it.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think?
I mean, I always watch it. I'm still a fan. Listen, when we talk about Hassan Mustafa is finally nailing the condition, right? So he came in last 2 shows, 2 victories. How can you deny it? He was conditioned. And the thing that he was missing before was conditioning. But he's so downsized that you could actually see the flaws, structural flaws. The Andrea Presti, the second guy from Italy, Phil Clahar, and Max Charles, all dramatically wider. So when they were all on the stage, there was, dramatic V-tapered differential, right? So I don't know if this is the first time ever that Hassan Mustafa competed. This is the first time that I saw him.
Then you wouldn't say nothing. You would say awesome.
Yeah, that was okay, but he wouldn't have won because we saw him how many times? 10 times on the stage, not in shape. Now I think rightfully they're rewarding the condition. But if you go pose by pose, and I know you are very analytical. I know that Chris is, and Chris is a shape guy, so I'm sure that he probably saw it going a different way. Chris, if you've seen the prejudging and finals video, how would you judge?
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. He can be easily exposed in a way with a really, shaped guy. I just thought he had the busier, more muscular physique, and I'm sure the judges went with that. Especially, he was a little bit fuller than last week. It's just now. I think some things like it's gonna have to maybe improve on his intensity and his training. I still think he needs to keep working on the posing.
Yes.
Still a little crunched in with that side chest and stuff. I just like to see him open up more. Being that you have flaws, you really have to disguise your flaws by your posing. So you're gonna have to really get someone that can really nail that down. Not everyone can do that.
No.
Posing, perfect topic. Okay, Dennis Wolf, right? And you're one of those great posers. Dennis James, I remember DJ. I'm gonna call you DJ. I remember your posing routines, and Chris, you're fabulous. How much time did they put into that posing? Not just mandatories. Mandatories, we practice this. This was like mandatory thing. You train and then you pose. You do the 5 second, 8 second, 10 second, 15 second rounds, right? But posing routines, who does it nowadays? Who does the posing routine? I remember DJ, you were mixing it up with the DJs, 3 different songs. You're doing your break dance and slow and some dramatic.
I was better at dancing than posing.
Yeah, for sure. But listen, you put a lot of effort into the posing routine. Dennis Wolf, I mean, your routines are fabulous. What do you tell your guys nowadays when they don't actually even have a posing routine?
It's very difficult today because most of the guys, they don't count it. Count the posing routine as very important, So most people don't even can hit the normal poses right. So so that's where it starts, the whole difficulties. So I tell my clients, especially, just to start early working on it, just starting listening to any music they like, and just starting to kind of put piece by piece your routine together in your mind until you're kind of ready to hit a couple poses with the music together. So, and that took myself at least 6 to 8 weeks just to kind of figure out what I'm gonna do this time. I was always kind of playing around and always brought a new routine on stage. Doesn't matter how often you're on computer. I tried even in one season. So let's say Mr. Olympia had one routine, and then 2 weeks later, when we did the Europe tour, I had already another routine, because I knew how to pose, how to kind of work on some poses, because some people don't even do them right. They hit them fast, couple seconds, not even 2 seconds, and then go over to the next one. And this is what I used to do too, right? But until you kind of feel that you kind of try to show more and more of your good sides, right? And if you don't do it, you don't show them. So it doesn't make any sense to bring a posing routine if you can do, or if you can show your physique, the right physique, what you want to show, right? So most people show some crappy poses and that's it. It's because they are lacking on, posing practice.
They don't practice
the most important thing. They don't practice anymore.
Yeah. How about you, Chris?
I think Chris was one of the guys that he just knows how to transition. He knows the posing. I don't think he put a lot of time into posing routines. I think he just.
But you were in Thailand.
No. I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. Prove me wrong, because I always thought that he just knows what to do. Give him a song, he can pose on any music.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I could do that. I mean, case in point, I think it was the 2004 Olympia or 2005, I don't remember exactly, maybe 2004 Olympia. I'm going out there, and I'm probably one of the guys that made it mandatory only one song on your CD, because I had 3 songs on there. I don't know, I had a few songs on there. I turned in the music, I said, okay, use track 2. And I don't think they got the memo, because when I went out, it was when we had the revolving door that brought it. We're standing here, but then it's going to swing us around, and then we're going to be on stage. This was televised live. So when they brought me around, I'm thinking it's going to be, these are my confessions. I was going to be grooving little. So in my mind, it's all slow. I'm going to bring it up, I'm going to like this. And then when I came around, it said, it's the motherfucking remix. Lean back. So I had lean back instead of confessions. And I had to, in a split second, I had to switch from my thinking to a whole nother song. So with that, I can do that. But getting to that point took me, the whole time I was competing. So when I first started training and I had someone say, okay, this is what you need to learn, I started reading the book, the encyclopedia, what was that?
Encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia. And it told me, okay, posing is very important. Training is very important. Balance out your body is very important. All the different things are important and essential for bodybuilding. That's what I was trying to do. So I already had connection with Robbie Robinson by the age of 19 and 20. So I'm already starting very young. I'd go to Los Angeles 2 hours away from home just to learn some posing and come back same day. Stuff like that from, as my teenage years. So 21, 22, I'm still working with Robbie, grinding the compulsory poses, learning the importance. I spent a lot of time with Robbie walking up and down Venice Beach, talking bodybuilding, talking everything about what he's done. Just took it like a sponge. And I just been groomed at a very young age. So that's where all my, accolades come from, from posing. And this, I took it very serious, and then but I was very shy at the same time. So that's why I did so much slow stuff first. I didn't want to come out and be like, oh,
Shake your ass.
Yeah, shake, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, shaking my
What you
ass.
did later.
That didn't start till I started going to the clubs more. And that's when then I was like, oh, I'm gonna use this.
Yeah.
So,
But okay, so Dennis sensed that you're just natural, that you didn't practice.
No.
But now-
I what I'm trying to say is, okay, let me rephrase it just a little bit. I'm sure that he put a lot of effort into posing in the beginning of his pro career and his amateur career. I just think at the later end of his career, he was at a point where he didn't worry about posing routines. He just worried. It seemed
right.
like you just worried about what song am I going to use, and then I'll feel the song. I'm gonna just go with the flow.
And then I have like 2 or 3 poses that I know I'm gonna hit. After that, I'm ad-libbing.
Yeah.
You know, the crowd is liking how I look. You know, I'm just, you know, like that. But I have like 3 or 4 poses, 5 poses, and then the rest is ad-lib.
I think I think it was the same with you, Milos. I think you put a lot of effort in posing in your career and earlier in the career, and later you just know what to do.
This is okay if you can give advice to everybody who's listening, because Max Charles once, when he was with me still, he asked me, hey, can you ask Chris if he can come and show me some posing? You know, one of the last shows, and Chris, you know, came to his room and teach him a little bit, right? So a lot of people don't understand. It's not what you have, it's what you show. And when you have these few moments of glory, right? Show your best poses. So when you go there, judges are human beings. They don't have a attention span to, okay, look at your mediocre pose and stupid transition and sequence that doesn't make sense and stuff like that, right? So you go there, you pick your 10, 15 best poses, and then connect them that make sense. So this is what Chris said. You knew your sequence, something up, something down, one side, the other side. So you know how to flow, right? There is no wasted move. I see the guys come to the stage and do most ridiculous pose for their routine. And I'm going to say this, maybe Sergio Oliva Jr. is going to be pissed off at me. He was twice awarded the winner of the best poser in Arnold Classic. The last posing routine when I watched in a Reno show, he pretty much did catastrophically wrong. The poses, they would, you know, show his stomach from the side, don't exemplify his strengths, but show actually his weaknesses. That somebody even with the untrained eyes say, ooh, he looked way better in the mandatory poses than in free posing routine. So free posing routine, even though it's not judged, you don't get the score, but that's the time when you can show the judges poses other than mandatories that glorify your physique, show your strengths. I remember, I'm sure you know both Dennis is from Germany, Bernd Beiderbecke. He was a German promoter. And first time I was there and I did my posing routine. And right after I was getting off the stage, he goes, hey, Milos, what the hell are you doing a back double biceps pose in your free posing routine? I said, what do you mean? He says, you have no back, you have no arms. I said, look at judges, I have no arms. I said, don't do it. He made a lot of points. So I mean, now going in, my guy, Samson Douda, he did 6 shows in 6 weeks, 6 different routines, one better than the other. I mean, oh my God. And you go to the show, you want to watch every move. You want to identify, oh, this is Sean Ray. This is, Dennis Jen. Oh, this is Chris Comier thing, right? We mentioned great poses. Kevin Levroni. I'm sure, Dennis, that Kevin is a typical example of this, what you're trying to say. He just go there, he hears the music, and he just flows. He never really prepared it. But Dennis Wolf, another Olympia 2007, I remember. That routine was phenomenal. And your transitions, it all made sense. It made dramatic, okay? Who is nowadays a great poser? Okay, I'm gonna go to, again, my guy, Logan Franklin. Is quite unappreciated, right? You guys watching the show, because everybody is mediocre, you don't really realize flaws, angles, arm positions, right? how fast you hit the pose and how long you hold the pose. If you look at his anaclastic routine, there was not microsecond on this whole routine that didn't make sense and that he didn't get in the most perfect angle. Now, this is art. And then you have a guys that just gonna, okay, Dennis, you like to do this. You pump the crowd with the dancing, or Chris Comier shake ass because he knows he's gonna get a reaction, right? But that's not posing. 2007, Dennis Wolf posing routine, that was the masterpiece. Now, I would like to encourage the guys, especially coming to the Olympia nowadays. Let's face it, the routines are boring. We don't want to even watch it.
Don't you think, Milos, don't you think that this is the reason for that is maybe a part that they don't even judge the posing routine? That people say, why should I try to suffer myself into practicing posing when you're already dieting and doing cardio and you feel like shit, and now you have to pose for something that the judges don't even care for?
That's the argument. That's the argument of all the guys that are going to say it. So I was strictly against it. I was against changing the rule from symmetry round, muscularity round, posing round. Why on earth? Symmetry round is for aesthetics and shape. And let these shapely guys, earn the points there. Muscularity, no problem. Okay, the bigger guys.
But
posing routine. Posing routine, when you put the effort, look at back in the 80s and 90s. I mean, we did the whole choreographed routines, and it was interesting to watch, right? Yeah. Labrada, oh my God. The Robbie Robinson. And by the way, Chris.
Yeah.
I posted something about posing, and Robbie put on my Instagram, now do 200 times. I mean, those mandatory poses, what we did, we can freeze and stay as a statue forever. For 2 minutes, you don't move your abs, you don't see the stomach breathing, legs are separated. Nowadays, watch. 3 seconds they have legs, 4th second they lost it. There's nothing there, right? The 3 seconds they have abs the way it's supposed to, next thing you know, it's all over the place. It's not 100%. Practiced.
100%. But people don't want to practice. They want to wait till 2 weeks before the show and then try to hire somebody or try to say, hey, I got a couple of weeks to go. I just want to run through a couple. I said, it don't even work like that, dude. You got to put in, 6 to 8 weeks of, at least I would like to do 8 weeks when I was doing it. I would do a straight 8 weeks, 5 days a week I'm posing. And that's grueling, especially when I went with Robbie Robinson. He was like a drill sergeant now. He's screaming at me, stomping his feet. I'm sitting in a puddle of sweat. I'm just like a soldier, just straight, boom, locked in. He was like that. And that's the tree I came from.
Yeah,
that's why you look like that. You can't find a single bad picture of you on the stage. 72 pro shows that you competed. I mean, there's not moment of relaxation, and we see this all the time, right?
Yeah, but you're right. You're seeing people losing muscles, and then even if they can be the better bodybuilder, they're still going to lose to someone who's paid more attention to the details like that.
Okay, can I jump in here? Also, it's a good topic. I watched the Texas show last year when Jan Valier won, right? And Phil was second, and Steve was second and Phil was third, I believe. Yeah, that's how it was. Oh, yeah. And I said, like, okay, let me now do the video commentary, and I'm going to actually be a judge, and I have to call, okay, frontal biceps goes to, each pose I have to give it to who I think they should win. And this time they did 3 rounds in the pre-judging and 3 rounds of the same 3 guys at the finals. So I had a 6 times chance to see all of them. And I pretty much almost every time I had to judge it differently. Because for me, Jan Valier was winning if he would squeeze the legs. But he forgot to squeeze the legs in the frontal biceps, frontal lat spread, right? How can you give it to him? If I judge what I see, and I believe judges are like that. They're watching. So one thing is having, but not showing. And you see, this is why when pictures are posted, and in that right moment, one guy had everything. Okay, he won. But he lost it right after that second, and the whole prejudging, he didn't show it, right? So I would hate to be a judge, let me tell you, because I made a fool out of myself because I call it every time different guy, you know. So, and this is probably happening. And I don't think that we are giving enough credit to the judges. I mean, seriously, you know, I was first one to criticize them before. I think this, I think that. Well, did you actually sit down and judge?
Mm-hmm.
Did you look at them? You know, and this is something to consider. Okay, we know he was in better condition, but if he didn't show it, and that was exactly the case, that Texas show opened the eyes for me, like, whoa, you know. So by the time, you know, I looked at everything, I would have given to Phil Klahar, you know. Dennis, you were at that show, I remember now. We were there watching, you know. So if Jan did everything perfect every time, yeah, I would have given to him, and he won. Steve was good also, but, you know, it was such a close show. Steve didn't have the deep abs, deep separation, and you know, back shots he was losing. So I think this is what judges are facing, and yeah, really not giving them enough credit. They're doing a hell of a job.
True. I wouldn't want to be a judge because I know it's hard. Because like you just said, I'm the same. I go back and forth. I keep going back and forth between 2 and sometimes 3 guys.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes you just literally want to say, freeze, so I can get a good look. you know? Make him stop moving. You know? It's not that easy.
And then when we say such a thing, like, okay, if you judge, and I say that Andrea Presti and Phil Klahar and even Max Charles could have beat Hassan. Now Hassan would maybe be offended. But hold on, you know, why offended? This is top elite level pro bodybuilder. Somebody has to be first, somebody has to be last, right? This is how it goes. But if you're looking shape, V taper, X frame, right? He's narrow. So every pose, frontal biceps, frontal spread, frontal expose that. How can you ignore it, right? Mm-hmm. So, you like my arms better than his? Well, you know, even particular muscle, you can look for the shape, you can look for the size, separation, striations, all kinds of stuff. So it goes much more than average person think.
Yeah, true, absolutely.
Something else I see on the stage a lot. Some pet peeves of mine is when guys are on the side and they're just totally relaxed, you know, just chilling, looking around at whatever. But if you stay like back when you can really, since it's an old school round table, you can actually have you can stay like a statue on the side. They would rather you be doing that and rather be like, okay, this guy really wants it type of feeling about that person. You know, sometimes, you know, they're moving you up because you're putting in so much effort. Also in between poses, I got that from Kevin LeBron. If you hit a shot, you know, stay connected with your body, stay firm with your body into the next shot. That's better than hitting a shot, letting everything
relax,
take a couple steps, do this, try to pick it up again, like that. You stay connected, your body's gonna fare way better, way more professional looking.
Absolutely.
Who do you guys think when we look back at all the years of bodybuilding and all the people that we looked up to? Milos, in your mind, who was the best poser ever? If you just have to pick one. Labrada. Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Just one.
I mean...
Yeah, I had 5, but Labrada is the best.
Yeah.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, you know I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
I mean, I liked when people really, you see that they really put a lot of time in it. You know, not even I was a good poser. I don't consider myself the best, but I put time in the dirt into my personality, which grew as I got better. I mean, you could say Terry Pastel was good. Mm. Terry Pastel was good.
Dennis.
Well, my favorite is Leo Labrada.
Yeah.
And, very, very favorite posing routine of his was in Helsinki, Finland. I'm still gonna try to watch it sometimes, but I think YouTube deleted that especially that video. Man, this is so amazing. That guy could pose like 5 minutes and never hit a double pose. This is incredible.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on Lila Brada. For me too, he was, and when you go to it, the next generation, I think Sean Ray was one of the great posers too.
Oh yeah, definitely, Sean.
Yeah.
You also got to talk about people who were just shocking or just drew you into his routine. Is Kevin Levrone.
Mm-hmm.
You can also talk about one that was really shocking, and comes to mind is Vince Taylor. Vince Taylor.
Yeah.
Vince Taylor. That dude, man, he had you up your feet, cheering.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, man. And I got the same type of feeling with your guy. You were saying from the Arnold Classic.
Samson Duda.
Yeah, Samson. So when he first came out, I was like, oh, okay. He's doing summer flex wheeler. Okay. And then he started doing more, and I was like, okay. Then he started doing more and more and good things. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He was on it. Look at
this guy's really, really good.
I don't know if you've seen the video. There was a half screen, Sean Ray and half screen of Samson, and then Kevin and Samson and Flex and Samson.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He did identical.
Oh yeah, dude. I was
Pose
like,
by pose. Identical.
By the end, I was a fan by the end of the routine for sure.
No,
He has in the blood.
I can't wait for him to step on the Olympia stage and do a routine, because I think he's going to be one of the better ones out there.
Yeah.
Watch out for him. He's putting some serious size, and he wants to do the Ronnie 2.0.
It would be great to get the posing and the symmetry round, looked at a little bit closer. I think that would solve a lot of different looks that we.
But okay, I know I'm a big mouth, but I'm sure this is old school table. I think that all of us kind of regretted that they pull away the symmetry, muscularity, and posing judging. Come on. This was the core of bodybuilding. This is how it was judged.
But do you know why?
Quarter turns. No, I don't know why.
I know why the posing round was basically thrown out, and it was just because people complained. He said, "How can let's say Dorian Yates win the posing round, or how can somebody who hadn't even had the best routine win the posing round?" Because they didn't judge the routine; they judged the body.
It's not the movement; it's the
in the round. So that's why who has the best physique doesn't have to have the best routine, but he's still going to win the posing round, and that's why.
They actually worked on the posing. You can see that they worked on the posing.
I know, but at the end of the day, it was still not the best posing routine. So that's why there was always problems. And I don't know who said it at one time. Somebody wanted to attack a judge or something. At the end of the day, it was just because they said, and that's the same at the Arnold. They still judge the posing round at the Arnold. Yeah. And who won the posing round? Who won the posing round?
This time, Brandon Curry won, which was ridiculous. That was Samson $10,000.
That's what I'm saying, because they judge the physique, and that's just the way it is, and that's why they threw the posing round out.
But here, is bodybuilding sport or entertainment? Okay, while sport can be in a gym, on the stage is entertainment. So you're going to pull away entertainment part.
Yeah.
You're not going to judge it.
Yeah. I think they should have like an extra award for the best and most entertaining routine. Just for the guys to get up off their ass and say, listen, for maybe who knows, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 extra at the Olympia, I'm gonna go ahead and put a good routine together.
This is incentive, yeah.
And not walking back and forth doing a rap concert. That's I mean, it's one way to do it, but you're just actually walking to in the park, and then you hit a shot over here, and then you walk over there.
Yeah, but Chris, what can you do when you run out of poses?
But you should
Hey, man, get off.
Get off! Get your ass. Hey, does anybody knows anything about ANA?
No. What's that?
ANA stands for anti-nuclear antibodies. Does that ring a bell? Milos is laughing. He's like,
where do you get that from?
I don't know where I got it from, but I don't know I got it. So what happened is 9 months ago in one of my blood works, my ANA came back positive. And the doctor at that time told me, he said, you should go see a rheumatologist. I didn't think nothing, I was like, I pushed that shit back for like 9 months.
Right.
So like a month ago, I made an appointment like 4 months ago, and I had to wait like 4 months to get an appointment with the guy. And a couple of days ago, I went in for, they took blood work again, and they checked for because he said ANA means that there's an autoimmune disease in your body somewhere. So I said, okay, so they did blood work, they tested 1,000 fucking things. And a couple of days ago, I had my result date, and he told me I came back with a, what's it called again? Undifferentiated connective tissue disease. See how you guys looking right now? That's how I was looking. I look the same.
Yeah, what? You have
Yeah.
some mind-muscle connection? What is that?
No, but for real, undifferentiated connective tissue disease.
So what are they saying? You
So
gotta do-
no, then he touched me. He touched my fingers. He said, "Does that hurt?" He just didn't really press him. He just held him. I was like, "No." He moved my arm. Does this hurt? No. My knee? No. Do you have dry eyes, dry mouth? Sometimes. I live in Arizona. Yes. But and what else did he ask me? Do I have rashes? I said no. He said, "Yeah. Well, then then don't worry about it." He said, because this is a disease where you create inflammations in your body that supposedly attacks your joints. And because your inflammation rate should be 30 or under, and when I did the blood work with him, mine was 57. So but I said, so what am I supposed to do now? I said, listen, if you don't have any symptoms or if you don't have any outbreaks, don't do nothing. But I just wanted to know if anybody ever heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I didn't pay attention to it, but it's for sure autoimmune thing, and if it's affecting your joints, they're gonna tell you, early stage of arthritis or something.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe lupus or something.
No, it's not lupus.
But,
It's not lupus because
but-
that's what I was worried about. It's not lupus.
Yeah, but you feel good, so don't be. Doctors have to give you diagnosis, and sometimes when they say these fucking words that we don't even understand, it's like, oh my god, am I dying? Shit. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? Nothing hurts. You don't have rashes. You don't have inflammation. So if
I believe that my problems with my eye is coming from that.
Connected?
Yes, that's what I believe. Because when I went to the eye specialist and they checked my eye with all kind of shit, they said I have an inflamed retina. And she said, are you in a lot of contact with cats? I said, no. So because she said some people get that from cat hair. But she didn't know that I had this autoimmune disease, because if I go see her next time for another checkup, I'm going to tell her, and then she'll probably say, yeah, that's probably what caused this. And that's why I still have the floaters. The inflammation is gone, but I still have all this shit going on in my eye.
Like what do you see?
A whole bunch of shit. All
Yeah?
kind of black
Shit going around?
black clouds. Yeah, man, it's terrible. Now it's been all going on for 6 months. But when it first started, I was tripping. I thought I was going blind, because it was literally like I couldn't focus with this eye, because I had to, like, you do this in front of you and you have to go look through your fingers and you see. Because the way your eyeball moves, these clouds will move. So, and I was like, oh, and it's getting, I came back from Egypt and I was like, it's getting worse. So I think I'm going blind. I'm tripping. I'm going to the doctor. I was like, I need to find eye doctor.
Damn.
Eye doctor. I went to this is regular places where they check your eyes for glasses and shit.
Yeah, right.
And she looked at my eyes. She said, she checked my eye pressure. And the eye pressure should be 20 or below. And this one was 13 and this one was 49.
Yeah.
So she said, oh yeah, you need to see a specialist. Okay, so I go to a specialist. How do I get a specialist? Here's a number. Call this guy. I call this guy. He said, yeah, in 3 months. 3 months? I'm going to be blind as shit. I said, I can't wait 3 months.
3 months.
They don't care. They wouldn't give me a fucking appointment.
Right.
So I know a nurse who works at the hospital. She did some calls. She called around and she found one who said he can come in right away. So I drove there. Now, keep in mind, I'm thinking, first I thought, I did some research and I thought it was like a detached retina or,
Right.
So I go to this doctor. He did some different tests. And then he told me, you need to go see someone right now. I'm going to call right away. You can go there right now. And I'm like, damn, that sounds like he's in a hurry. He's in a hurry. I was like, okay, I tried to be as cool as I could. So he calls and he said, yes, you can go there right now. So I drive there. My wife was with me, thank God. So I drive there and I get to the door, and at the door it says, retina and eye cancer specialist.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I'll be damned. I was like, I can't believe it. So now I go in there, I'm shaking, scared to death. They put me in, they checked my eye, they did some different tests and they, crazy stuff. And then she took some pictures of this eye. And I looked in the computer and I could see all the pictures she took, and you see basically an eyeball, and I see this spot every time on each picture. I was like, fuck, I got cancer. I'm going in. She said, and she didn't say nothing because that was only the one that take the picture. She's not the doctor. So, but I saw the dot and I was like, I got cancer. So I go in the room. I told my wife, I said, I got eye cancer. I got eye cancer. I was mad. If I had a gun right there, I would have probably shot myself in the head. So I waited for the doctor came in. I was shaking like a fucking virgin. And then she said, I said, Doc, I got cancer, right? She said, no. She said, no, but you have an inflammation on the front and in the back of your retina. I was like, okay, so now what? So they put me on, first they said, this comes from an infection in your body that causes the inflammation in the eye. And then she said, in order to treat the inflammation, we got to treat the infection first. That's what she said. So they put me on antibiotics for like low dose, but for 6 weeks. And after 4 weeks, they added the prednisone for the inflammation. And then I was taking that stuff for like another month or so. And then the inflammation was gone. And since then, it's been gone. But I believe it all came from this UDTC, whatever that is, undifferentiated connective tissue disease.
Dang.
I believe it.
Sometimes it's better to not know what you have when they tell you, right?
Yeah,
Make you
because now I'm going to pay attention to everything that happens. See, now I was just talking my ass off for 5 minutes. Now my mouth is dry. It's like
it has to be. But yeah, I always wanted to ask Dennis D.Wolf about his world championship win, right? You beat Kamal Al-Grandi, right?
Algani.
I can never say the name. Yeah, Kamal.
Ghani.
Yeah. Who, by the way, looks crazy. Yesterday, the pictures, if you see on Instagram, 51 years old.
Still today, he looks incredible.
Incredible. Actually, I think he's improving, right? But you beat him
Still.
and Ali Tabrizi, right? For the overall.
Yes, Ali Tabrizi. Look, there were so many world champions. I had no idea, but later on, Albert Buzek told me I beat like 10 world champions. Can you imagine what it is? I was like, no, I have no idea. I knew Ali Tabrizi was a world champion, and Kamal, of course. Kamal was, back and forward. He was amateur, then he went to the pros, then came back, won the world championships again, and went to the pros, and won the 2012 Olympia. It's just history.
Yeah. Kamal told me, I said, Milos, you don't remember we competed? I said, when? One of the Night of the Champions, he was pro, didn't place, he went back, so he won there. But here is the question that I want to ask. This is a drug-tested contest. How did you guys all pass the goddamn test?
They only tested the people that didn't win.
No. Yeah, look, I was warned that the winners get tested, but there was a guy or two guys walking around, so you have to kind of reach in a cup, big one, and if you pull out a red ball or white ball, so then you know, okay, red ball test, white ball nothing. So, and I was like waiting. I won the world champion, the overall already. So kind of the venue getting emptier, and I was still waiting. So where's the test? Where's the fucking test?
Oh, well.
Why would you want to wait for the test? You knew you weren't natural.
Because I thought this is world championship. So I mean, I don't want to leave or whatever. And they told me, don't worry about it. They come probably to the hotel. So, okay, we went to the hotel, went to the buffet, no more food, and I was still waiting, there's nobody else, so nobody's get testing. But hey, that was such a time, I couldn't sleep for 3-4 days because all of that, becoming a world champion, and then I knew I reached my goal, getting to the pro level. So, yeah. I think
that was the second year competing, right?
Excuse me?
That was your second year competing.
No,
you did more?
No. I started competing in '99, and it was in 2005. Yeah.
So you won the world championships in 2005?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was earlier. Shit.
No.
2006 is the first season. Yeah, I remember seeing you at Santa Susana.
It was 2006, exactly. Yeah, I remember you were with Hatti and
is that the show? That was the show that Paco Bautista won?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think Dennis, you were third, right?
Yeah, I was third. Yeah, Paco.
Marcus, yeah.
Marcus, yeah.
Santa to Susana. Yeah.
Santa Susana.
I'm gonna get into some. In between, I'm gonna throw in some fan questions that we have.
Hey, Dennis.
Dennis Wolf.
James.
Wolf. Big bad Wolf. Hey, so when you were finishing up your career, how was that come down from that and transitioning into your next life after competition?
Well, I would say there were different levels, right? So the beginning, when I understood that's over, I'll never be, on stage again like I was used to. That was the hardest time. I think, 1 or 2 years. It was on and off, good mood, bad mood, don't know what to do, where I should put my energy in. So that was the first 2 years. Then later on, the next 1 or 2 years, I was kind of getting okay with the way I look, the way I live right now. It didn't bother me at all anymore that fans are, telling me or asking me, hey, what happened to you? And you guys, things like that.
Right.
So then, later on, I was so used to that, and I tried to get all the positive from that, being that light, not eating that crazy food amounts anymore, and doing what I wanted, anything in regarding the sports. Is it jet ski? Is it hiking? All of that kind. I was doing that with ease, so, and I was enjoying that. So I think, over the time you kind of, enjoy life more, because I was used to kind of do always the same thing, feeding myself, and it was not always fun, that. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's not always all fun, but that was structured. The whole year for me was structured, right? So you have your prep, you have your off season, you have your tours, you have your seminars, you have your appearances, and the whole year was structured. And I had that was not the case anymore. So, and I think that's just where I kind of tried to figure out what I'm used for now, so
Talking
Yeah,
about jet skis,
another-
because you just mentioned jet skis. Are you using a life? Are you using a life vest now?
yes, sir.
Hey, Milos, do you know the story from I near? You know how people say I had a near death experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you? How many of us? I know I've been in one. Can you say where you really thought I'm fucking dying?
Oh yeah.
So Dennis, if you had that feeling, can you imagine what I felt?
I know
Tell
you.
my 10 times
You
already.
probably felt. Tell the story. Milos want to know the story. And there's a few. I mean, we talked about this before, but I know there's a lot of fans that still would love to hear the story.
That's so insane. I mean, that's just stupidity or arrogance. I don't know what it is.
It's both.
Right? So,
Both.
Both, yeah. We went to the beach. I wanna drive jet ski.
We're in Kuwait. We're in Kuwait. Kuwait.
Yeah, in Kuwait. Like 130 degrees outside, whatever. The water is hot as hot tub, so, and salty. So we went out. Nobody nobody put a.
It was Dennis, Melvin, and myself. We said, "Oh,
Right.
we sitting there by there's a restaurant by the beach. I think I don't know what it was." And said, "Hey, let's do the jet skis."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go. We go out there. We say we rent these jet skis, no vest, no nothing, and we go out. And Dennis out there, he's driving that shit. And we going out. I mean, we going. It's not like. It's not like we almost couldn't see the damn beach anymore.
Yeah.
So we out in the ocean, and all of a sudden, because we've been going for so long, and if you've done it before, it's really taxing. It takes a lot of energy. So we kind of wanted to just take a break out on the fucking ocean. And Dennis falls, or his jet ski flips over.
I stopped to kind of clear my vision, right? Because the water was splashing in my face, and it was, like I said, it was hot and salty, so it was burning my eyes. I just stopped, gonna clear my eyes, and the jet ski just fucking flipped over. I was like, what the hell is that? It stayed this way, so later on we figured out there was a hole in it, but what do you want to do? So I was trying to stay on the water, and then this Melvin came by.
No. First, no. We got to explain this.
Melvin was the first one. He was close. He came close to me and said, like, "Oh, can you just flip it over and eat it?" I eat it like.
Melvin is. But keep in mind, Melvin was kept a safe distance.
Don't get on mine.
He's still away like 10 feet from me.
So he was struggling. And now, once you start struggling, now you start panicking.
Panic.
So I could see in his eyes, he was panicking and he was swallowing water and he tried to get up and he couldn't get up. He couldn't get up. And I was like, fuck, we can't, because his thing was flipped over. He was trying to get up. I took my jet ski and I almost ran into him just so he's in between the jet skis and I held on to him, And Melvin is way over there trying to tell me what to do.
I remember you stretch out your leg. I grabbed the leg.
Yeah.
And I came to your jet ski. and you're like, just don't panic. Just
don't panic. Because we both go down, it's over.
Yeah.
And
You didn't have a vest on?
no.
No vest.
No vest at all. So, it was literally, I thought, if I don't do what I'm doing right now, he's going to fucking drown. He was literally about to let go.
I can tell you, if you didn't do what you did, I will be probably singing like a fucking rock.
It was that bad. I literally felt it's now or it's over, And I somehow understand Melvin on one side. I don't understand. I could never watch somebody die, especially not if it's a friend. But I understand Melvin on one side because you know how it is. Brothers don't jump in no water, and we're not talking about no pool where
You didn't have a vest on either?
no, none of us.
Oh, shit.
So
man.
you know, brothers don't even
That's
jump in
all
the
that
deep
muscle
pool, in the
going down
deep end.
fast.
So now you way out in the ocean, and
You're going down fast.
yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, man. I was going to ask you about your time in Kuwait. I know you guys went out there and you trained in different places, different parts of Europe, parts of America. Like, where was your favorite place to train? Like, if you had to just train.
Right now,
Yeah.
my favorite gym. I mean, Oxygens are the top gyms, but I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not saying this because I want to, disrespect someone. I'm saying this because I was super impressed with B1 gym in Dubai.
Oh, yeah?
That gym is absolutely fucking crazy. Not only size-wise, it's 3 times the Oxygen, but the equipment that they have it all there, But I would say B1 and of course Oxygen gyms are the best gyms to train.
Yeah, I'm
What about
going
in
with
America?
June 80 to Dubai this October. So
Huh.
we're gonna check out a few gyms. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, anybody been to B1? B-Noise, or whatever his name is. It's a cool
B1,
dude.
right? B1.
He's a cool, crazy, man. Crazy equipment, man. And it's all
Dubai
there.
has a crazy.
Yeah.
Dubai has several gyms that are just off the chart. I've never been to Oxygen Gym. I was never invited.
You never been, Oxygen gym.
But listen, it just because I never heard this story about
You didn't know-
Dennis and your jet skiing. I was a teenager in Adriatic Sea, right, in Dubrovnik, and I was at windsurfing, right? So I never did it, but it's okay. You have to try everything first time. It's okay, but when you try to get on the board and you pull that thing, and the wind blows, you're not even on it. You just keep pushing it, right? And I'm not looking where I'm at, right? So finally, like 45 minutes later, I managed to get on, but I don't know how to manipulate. Wind blows away, and I'm like about 10 miles away, and I'm looking, I can't see nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just screaming for help, I'm terrified of sharks anyway, right? So but it never occurred to me. I said, look back, right? So first one, like teenager, like you want to look good, and there's some ladies over there trying to impress. So like I act like I know what I'm doing. But 10 miles later, it was a panic mode. So fucking security, they had a boat. They came and picked me up. I could never come back. So yeah, we should consider doing something for the first time, right? You should have somebody that knows what they're doing. So Marilyn would not save your life, Dennis.
Listen, I'm just actually mad at the guys renting us the damn jet skis without forcing us to wear life vests.
Right? Yeah.
That tells me they didn't give a fuck either. It's like-
Dennis, when they send out the young guy to pick me up, right? Because they saw probably on a binocular or something that the jet ski is like, hey, the guy came. I climbed up the jet ski. I hugged this guy. I thought he was trying to catch breath because I was so afraid. I was hugging him.
You look like you were
almost
scared.
300 pounds. He was like, and look, that was the second scariest thing, to get up from or get off from the jet ski when I was at the beach. I was so afraid of the water, and I knew it is knee high, right? I couldn't jump from the jet ski. I was shitting my pants, and then I finally did it. Kind of, get to the beach and kind of lay down. And my wife came to me like, "What's going on? What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Don't talk."
Yeah. She had no idea that you just almost died.
Yeah, just almost
in the Kuwaiti Ocean.
Well, can I jump in with something that I'm sure that people are gonna want to listen about the contest prep, right? Dennis, I was at your gym opening like about a year ago, and it was a good conversation. But you told me that after the 2007 experience that we had, right, when I had you on shitload of carbs, amount of carbs that people wouldn't even believe that I put you on. But you said years later, you actually were getting in a perfect shape with hardly any carbs. Can you explain that?
I think it's the age, because before 30, everything worked out with carbs. Fantastic, just fantastic. You know, you know that. So I looked full and everything, but after 30, I was starting kind of fade on stage. I think because of the carbs. So then I switched it off.
Do you think you faded because of the carbs or because of the lack of carbs?
No, because too much.
So you faded?
Yeah,
because you
look,
had too much
it's
carbs.
not fading but losing all of that. You know, I mean, the fullness, the you know, thickness and all of that. When I was starting, you know, doing my mandatory poses, right, the comparisons, and I started looking worse. So then, and I switched it up a little bit. So in order to kind of get dry as possible and, you know, bring that on stage, I just start depleting before the show. So not depleting and carb loading before the show. I was just depleting and was empty on stage. So that was the key. But hey, how do you figure it out? You know, no idea. And then like everybody was saying, look, you look better like when you're depleted than you start when you start carving up. So that's why I tried it. Of course, I mean you're afraid like it might not get work, but I did it and that was just perfect. Look, as example, 2013. I didn't sweat. I didn't change the condition in 2 days. I was empty. I just was empty. That's it.
So you didn't have no carbs going on stage with 0 carbs?
Like maybe 50 grams. Like, you know, like I will probably have something in the morning. Like Friday was the prejudging. I will have Friday morning a breakfast with some carbs, and that's it. So I will kind of wait until the night, and everything was just perfect. I don't know why, but the carbs at the end, when I was like on my peak in my career, didn't help that much anymore. You know, heading to the show. So I was trying to be more and more low carb, almost zero. Almost zero, 50 grams.
Yeah, all 4 of us are coaching, right? All 4 of us are coaching, and I remember first time. Look, I saw you 2006. At that Santa Susana show, you were in my room. Actually, I saw you pose. Like, wow, what a physique! I was a huge fan. And then I told you, 2007 when we started working, first show was New York, and Dennis was competing. Branch won, DJ was second, you were third, right? Yeah. And that was the first experience. And you know, when you get somebody for the first time, you project, okay, we're gonna deplete and we're gonna load. And I remember I loaded you with 3,500 grams of carbs, which should be enough for people to explode, right?
For the whole lineup.
Yeah, for the whole lineup. But, you know, he was good, but, he lost a little bit. Then next show, Dennis, you were with me in California, and Dennis Wolf was going to Keystone, because my wife had a contest in California that weekend, so we watched it. And we got the call from Dennis Wolf that he won the Keystone, right? For that Keystone show, you beat Kai Green, and I don't know who else was there.
Yeah, Kai, what is it, Branch and Desmond Miller.
Yeah. But you were, condition was perfect, dryness was perfect, right? Yeah. But then going to Olympia, I don't know if you guys remember, at 2007 Olympia, Dennis was not like favored to be looked at, you know, for top 5, right? He was coming from the out of top 16, 2006. And so that frame, that beautiful shape, physique, like, oh shit. I said, okay, let's just fill it up. So I didn't predict how much carbs. We went up to 5,000 grams of carbs, which is unheard of in 2.5 days. Yeah. So really, this is what was shocking for me.
What do you eat to get 5,000 grams of carbs in? What was it? Mainly what?
Yeah, rice is rice, right? But cream of rice is cream of rice. But we always had this special cookies. Remember, it was oatmeal, banana, dextrose, dates, raisins, fucking, you know. And you make, and one cookies was like 25, 30 grams of carbs. Right. So, you know, that was the process. But, you know, you would expect that you're going to fill up the glycogen storage. That this is glycogen, right? Storage. It's full. Well, if you go by the science, they said there's no way you can store possibly 750 grams in muscle and liver. That would be like upper limit. So it's okay. How do you explain that bodybuilders, us, we go 3,000 grams of carbs, do nothing physically in those last 2 days, right? And we can't get filled up. And D.Wolf is a perfect example. Like, I didn't want to put 5,000 carbs. I was okay, meal by meal. So after one meal, 3 hours later, like, oh shit, he needs more. Okay, then let's go. He's going to be filled up finally. He never filled up until, okay, all the way to the show. So when I was at his house with this great outdoors gym opening that you have, Dennis, I hope you're going to invite people there to actually see it. It's a perfect place. And you told me that you actually switched and you kind of depleted into the show. That was quite shocking for me because I know your frame, your size, and your glycogen capacity. So it was a shocker for me actually to see that you deplete into the show.
Yeah, but I had to do this move because two years in a row I was right. So I was full, but as soon as I start posing the comparisons, I was starting getting not empty but kind of losing all of that. I was looking smoother and smoother. So and then it's like hey, I need to do something different. Like I said, people who saw me like the Wednesday, right, the last day of depletion. And Thursday, Friday, I will probably, carb load. So they say, hey, how about if you try that? And then I'm like, okay. So, yeah, I mean, if you never tried, you never figure it out. So,
yeah. What do you guys think, Chris, you also, and Dennis, you've seen people depleted completely and looking goddamn fantastic. You wish them to be on a stage, like completely empty. And Dennis, you were one of those also. When you were super low carbs, depleted as hell, you look so full in shirts. So how do you explain that?
I have no explanation for that. I know, but there's some people that just work like that. They just don't flatten out. I mean, yeah, for them or for me, let me talk about myself. For me, when I'm totally depleted, I'm flat for me, which is still fuller than average, other bodybuilders. So, and then for me, I think that, less is better at the end, but I was already older. So, just like Dennis has said, he felt like after 30, he felt like he got away with less carbs. I mean, or he would lose his condition with more carbs. And I think there is a truth to this because I realize that too, that, you get to a point where less is sometimes better, especially when you have problems with the stomach like I had. I mean, you 5,000 calories and 5,000 grams of carbs for me would have been, I would never even make it to the stage.
It would be Buddha.
I wouldn't even make it to the stage. I always fucking hated you guys. I said, how these motherfuckers can eat all these food and the stomach stayed flat. I hated you guys. I said, and I watched everybody. I was looking for people that said, let the shit go one time. I never got it. I said, am I eating too much? Is it because I eat more than these guys? I didn't know what it was. But here's another fan question. Because he just mentioned we all train guys, okay? So, from and everybody who work with, you have some kind of questions before you start working with someone. Somebody wants to know, what is the craziest cycle we ever witnessed on another person? So I'm gonna start with Chris. What's the craziest cycle? And we don't have to mention any names. Just that you said where you said, oh damn, we need to cut this out.
But just like some guys would be like thinking that, they did their first cycle and they already almost taking a full bottle per week of testosterone. They already, this one kid, he was a kid. He was like 21 or something like that. First cycle, and this guy, he's like, yeah, my coach had me taking, 800 milligrams of test, something, I don't know, the Equipoise, 600 milligrams, Trenbolone every other day. I was like, first of all, I hope you had a girlfriend, because God damn, he's all, no, I didn't. I was like, holy shit. I was like, man, why would someone do that to you? I felt bad for.
But that's not even that crazy. That's not even that crazy.
Well, I come from an older school.
But no, I get, Chris, I get you. I'm just.
He was young, though.
Yeah, no.
First cycle out, you can get something from one cc a week. What you would get, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, to overload it like that, what are you gonna do? Is, let's say you're trying to go pro. What are you gonna be taking then? Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna,
Dennis, what about you? What's the craziest you've ever witnessed?
Look, there always some interesting shit you see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So very, very interesting. And then you ask yourself, like, why? And who even told you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think 1,000 milligram trenbolone was the craziest I think I saw. And the guy was young. So my question is always like, why?
Just 1,000 milligrams of just
into your body.
Yeah, but just 1,000 milligrams of trenbolone, or was there other compounds?
Oh, of course, other compounds, but 1,000 milligram of trenbolone a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine that? I mean,
crazy.
that was the fucking I never wanted to take that, right? Because you calf from that and all of that, but it was just what 1 cc a week. Can you imagine they're doing like 1,000 milligrams? So I mean, they're gonna cough like the whole fucking week, and feeling okay with that,
If
know what I mean?
If I would have took that much, I would have been in the car. I would have been a fucking weapon of mass destruction.
Hey, that's the second part, right? So how do you feel? Like you're aggressive? You want to kill everyone every time you wake up every morning, or So for me, it's like, is it even possible, right? So how long your body is gonna take it, right? And you don't feel it, right? So, or what's wrong? So no, they always say, no, I don't feel shit. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's the fake stuff they take. Maybe that helps them not to destroy themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Milos, what's the craziest you ever witnessed?
This is a dangerous subject, because once we mention this, then you see. So DJ, we mentioned Heiko Kallenbach, right? A German friend who is really loud about.
Yeah.
I'm a living proof that no amount of steroids can kill the man, right? So his daughter is crazy. But I'm not going to even talk about him. I even recently, I showed to Regan Grants, for example, European men's physique guy doing 5 times the amount of Regan Psychopharma Classic. 5 times. But now, as you mentioned, 1,000 trenbolone, I've seen 2,800 a week trenbolone, plus 2,800 masteron, and I'm afraid to say it, 5,000 milligrams of testosterone a week. Okay, so I heard before 2,000. Okay, and it's ridiculous. This is so. How can you even think that this is okay to do, right? Because some idiots selling drugs are saying that, oh yeah, I know for sure, Chris Comier, D.Wolf, Dennis James, and Milos are full of shit. We were using all 10,000 milligrams a week, right? So because they want to sell these large amounts. I mentioned you, Dennis, many times that 500 milligrams a week of testosterone would be good for 750 would be like, oh, okay.
That was max. That was max. Max.
Chris, can you tell us I want to know your first cycle, okay, and then your top cycle.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
Mine?
Yeah, first cycle, and then maybe 99 cycles.
Okay.
And tell the truth. Tell the truth. It's coming out. It's coming out.
My first one was all in my hand. One hand I could hold my first cycle, but I had some rugby. Remember the old company rugby back in the day?
Gills?
Yeah, 5 milligram pill, and I took it, and I'm like, okay, this made me sick. I felt like nauseous. So I was like, damn, I don't want to take this stuff. Like, forget it. And I gave it back to the guy, the rest of it. And then I'm in the gym later on that week, and I was 5 pounds heavier. So I was like, from that one pill, I gained 5 pounds. And I was like, damn, I went to go look. I said, it wasn't that sick. And I went to go find a guy. I need to get some more of that stuff, right? So after that time, I started getting some testosterone and some D.Wolf. And that was it. I took 1 shot a week, and I gained like 15 pounds. I took like just a couple of pills, probably like 25, 30, 50 milligrams of, 30 milligrams of the D-ball. That was my first thing, just that.
How long?
10 weeks. 10 weeks, but I got like 15 pounds. Now just gradually, went up more and more from there. But I never, I knew that at my max, I did 750 to 1,000. I tried that. One year, I said, I'm going to take a bunch of shit and I'm going to see what happens, right? I'm going to see. So I was taking like 1,500 milligrams of test. I did 2, max was 3 anadrol. Max was, EQ, and I was taking Trin, but the Trin was the real parabolic. So that was my max. But I only noticed I didn't get stronger. I held more water, and nothing else happened. I just held more water. It's like it proved to me I didn't need to take that. So I went back down to the 750 per week of the test, 2 anadrol pills, GH. And that's another thing with the GH, bro. I was in Mexico and I was trying to, I got to finish this up because I got to go back to America. I don't want to take this over the border. So I started taking 18 IUs of the GH, and that was a mistake because that's when I felt like I almost died because I was on tour. I'm doing a show a week, a show a day in different cities in Mexico. I got to the last day, and then I gave a good pose routine. I was 282 pounds. That's why when I didn't do the Olympia in 2000, I felt like I would have beat Ronnie because I just finished off that 99. I was gonna go to 2000. I felt that was the worst Ronnie looked was 2000. I thought he came in way too heavy. And I was in shape, and Mannion told me, Chris, just do the show anyway. I had actually passed out in Mexico when I was in a hospital for a week there, and I went straight out to all the way out. I couldn't see. I didn't know. I just woke up at a certain time. My blood sugar was like down. It was like dropping below 15. It was crazy. But I didn't realize that it affected your blood sugar so much if you take an abundance of growth hormone like that. That was one of the biggest mistakes in my life.
You saying from growth hormone, your sugar dropped?
Yeah.
No, it's the other way around.
I needed fucking carbs. I needed to eat. The kitchen was closed.
I know, but because a lot of people think they have issues with blood sugar because they don't realize that when you wake up in the morning and say you take your whatever units of GH, and then 15 minutes later check your blood sugar is high.
It's hyperglycemia, not hypoglycemia. So it's interesting. 15 glucose milligrams per deciliter, you would be in coma.
I was about to say you're in a coma.
I was out, dude. I was out. And soon as it dropped, then they put the glucose back in, but it was like I couldn't. It was bad, and that's the reason I didn't do the Olympia because I didn't know if something was particularly really wrong with me or what. So I'm sitting in the crowd in shape and just watching these guys. And at least I would have been second or third, even if I didn't beat Ronnie. But bro, I could have. I was in shape at 280, and I came down to 260, and it was probably the best look I would have had. But no one ever saw it because I didn't want to chance it, and I just after party that year and just chilled.
Talking about low blood sugar, and let me guys tell you a story. It's a fucking embarrassing story, but I have to tell it. I have to tell you, just for everybody to be careful. And that's my death experience where I thought I was going to die by accident. You guys remember back in the days we had those the Norditropine GH that came in a bigger bottle, almost looks like a 10cc bottle, and had like 16 units, 24 units. You know,
long ones.
The bigger bottles. You know. It's not like the 1cc bottles. It's a bigger, like 10cc bottles.
I remember you saying.
And they had the powder in there, and you mix them. And there was 12 and 24 units, and I think maybe 36 too. Anyways, I had the 12 unit bottles, right? So I put 2 cc's of bacteriostatic water in there. So a half a milliliter would be 4 units, right? That was before. I was a contest diet. So I wake up in the middle of the night to do my GH always. See, I take a piss, I do my GH, right? And what I must have messed up one day, one night, and I also had my insulin bottle in there, which was the same fucking size as the fucking GH bottle. So I must have been half asleep one night, and I went in and fucking pulled out half a cc and
50
fucking...
units.
50 fucking, well, I didn't know at the time. I thought it was my GH. So I'll take a half a seat, take 4 units, bloop, and I go back to sleep. I don't know how much longer, later I woke up, but it had to be not too long. I woke up like this.
100%.
I was shaking. I have never, bro, my mouth was shaking. I couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
I was so hungry. Thank God. Thank God for waking me up. I was so hungry, I said, you know what? Fuck this diet. I swear to God. I went to the fridge, and I had a whole fucking bag full of grapes. First thing I ate was all the grapes. Yeah. You know, I just kept, and I think that's what kind of saved me.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine? I take 50 units and go to sleep? How stupid.
Yeah. Well, then you didn't hear my Dubai story. I mean, it's identical. But here, first time 96, I'm going to Dubai. You know, I don't know if they check. You know, so I had a GH and I had a insulin, but I put in a see-through ampoules, like nothing. You know, you can say it's anything, right? And very last night, we're going out, and I said this to Dave Palumbo was with me there. 5 o'clock in the morning, we have to meet at the lobby. We're going to the airport. And I went out with all these guys, you know, I didn't sleep. And then, you know, like that last thing, I was in a contest diet. I had no carbs with me because on the flight, I'm not going to have any carbs. So I don't have any carbs prepared. And I'm just going to take this last GH shot, right? You know, same thing, half cc would be of GH. But it's one of those things, you go under the skin, and not before I pushed it, but right after I pushed it. So, this is not the GH, this is fucking insulin, right?
Oh, shit.
But it's already in.
Yeah.
So that you're trying to squeeze.
Try to do
the
do the old snake bite trick. Cut it.
Yeah, exactly. Try everything, right? So, oh my God. So what do I do? So I remember just calling Dave and saying, hey, Dave, I'm in trouble. You know, I shoot the insulin. I don't have any carbs on it. I said, well, just, go there, try to find some sugar, right? That's shit. And that's the only thing that they have at 5 o'clock in the morning in the hotel lobby. They have this coffee and they have the packets of sugar, but it's 50 units. It's not like, I had probably 200, packets of this. And it was not enough. I was like, going to the airport and all this shit there. But this happens, many times. Which is interesting for me is people that never took insulin, but they go in a hypoglycemic shock. Somehow physiologically, right? The body craves sugar. They know they have to go for a sugar.
I know.
And they run for a sugar. It's very interesting. But I'll tell this story. And Porter Cuccial, you have to forgive me on this one. But, Paul Gillette, we had this European tour and we talk about insulin. And And Porsche, I never take insulin. Okay. So we're going in Spain, we're walking somewhere, quite far. All of a sudden you see a porter sweating profusely and runs for the first, the store and gets all the sugars and like it. And I just remember Paul. I said, man, how many units did you use? So anyway, a lot of people, for some reason, didn't want to admit they're using insulin. And we touched the subject before. Dennis, after your whole experience, you don't use it. But Dennis Wolf, right? We loaded up 3 days before the Olympia, insulin every day, 3 shots a day, 20, right? And worked perfectly. So is that question mark, right? You do get much fuller with insulin that you don't get without it. It's just like manipulating that last part to not retain any water. Mm-hmm. And that can be challenging sometimes. But back in the 90s, I mean, most of us used it, Chris, you just sent me the other day the thing. You used 99, right?
I did 99. I did everything I could do in the 99.
Yeah.
But I didn't, but I wait when people start using insulin, I was like, I'm gonna let you guys use it and I'm just gonna watch what happens and I'm just gonna stay on course of what
out of it.
Yeah. So I just waited. So I waited till I gotten older and to where maybe my nitrogen balance wasn't so high to where I need to be a little fuller. And, my chest never really got where I really wanted it, but, it came up, certain parts, it got up there. But yeah, I waited till after. So I wasn't as educated as people got because I just didn't want to have anything to do with it at first.
But you did here and there, 97, we were in Hungary and you had this, I think a Greek coach, I forgot the...
You guys were going, yeah, but I wasn't using insulin. But you guys, he was just timing out my blood sugar.
And your blood sugar was like...
Kept pricking my finger, man. I was like, damn it. But I remember you guys in Hungary was going to find some cake and shit. You and Dennis. I heard you guys talking. I said, we got to go find some...
No, there was me and Melvin.
Cake. Okay, yeah, so cake. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing with that cake? The fuck? They ain't telling me shit. No one told me shit.
Was Milos there too? Was Milos there?
No, 97. You were not there. 97.
No, I'm not. We're talking about the 2000s.
Different year, yeah. That wasn't.
Yeah,
but that time, Chris, we were competing against each other, right? So of course there was always, you might think I tried to sabotage, but when I heard that your blood sugar level was like. It was either 40 or 50. And this Greek guy is giving you this piece of sweet potato.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this going to do? Come on, man. So this is just my recollection, but we actually competed. So you probably, didn't want to, get the advice. Even though I beat you in that show, 97 in Hungary. But 2 days later, you beat Nassau somebody in England, looking phenomenal. And actually challenging Kevin, who was also phenomenal, So this is when you start appearing. I don't know how you guys think, but for me, Chris Comier is somewhat underrated at the top of the 90s. You didn't get as high placings as you could have, I think. Finally, 99, they recognized you, right? But when no weaknesses, structurally perfect. Yeah. The only thing, as you mentioned, maybe a little bit fuller chest at that time would leave impression of a more powerful, bigger physique.
Yeah. My neck was thick. I used to wrestle, all that stuff. So I had somewhat of a powerful looking physique, but yeah, my chest, I wish it was a little bit bigger. My brother had that type of chest and I wish I had his and we could have swapped, but my brother would have been a very good bodybuilder also. I think we both would have been Olympia top 6 for sure. For sure. Must have.
Same genetics.
Yeah, same genetics, same height. He had a better chest, better abs, and better delts. He had the big round delts, the big round chest. He had the chest like my mom. I had the upper body like my dad, and I had legs like my mom. So that was the difference. But yeah, that would have been something to see, man.
Yeah. Dennis, what's new with you, man? What's happening in Vegas right now?
What about that gym?
In the Wolves Den. Oh, what's the name?
Den.
The Wolves
The
Den.
gym.
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit hot. today.
I was about to say, how do you train when it's so hot now? I mean,
Train in the morning and at night. So it's like from 5 a.m. till 9 is perfect. But then, you know, it started getting hot. You can't touch barbell anymore.
you can't. Yeah, I was about to say you can't even grab the stuff
Yeah,
anymore.
so and then like after like 6, 7 p.m., hey, that cools down and that's just perfect weather. So it's like the best thing if you like outdoor training, you know, after your job, like 7 p.m. is just perfect. Some wind comes up and, you know, it's just amazing to train.
Is the whole thing outdoors?
Whole thing is outdoors, like, but as I said, like during the day is just, you know, I'm not afraid of the heat, but touching that, you know, that makes impossible to train, you know.
Dennis, did you train twice a day back in the day or once?
There were a couple years I used to train twice a day, and then also switched it up a little bit, and you know, once a day, and it depends what I wanted to try out. You know, it's always like every prep or a little bit different.
But as you turn pro, you know, this 2006, 7, 8. I mean, when I trained there, it was twice a day, 6 days a week. So, yeah.
Yeah, 7 was twice a day, weight, but then I kind of stopped that, you know, because I feel like I don't have enough time to recover, and I just feel like, you know, it doesn't bring me anywhere.
How about you, Chris?
Oh, I used to do twice a day. I'd just get in there and just work as hard as I can. It's just I like to try to have the motto of outworking people. And if I worked harder than most people that I would see, as far as if I was in that 3 times a day, I'm okay with that, because I'm doing some cardio, some abs, some smaller body parts, and bigger body parts.
Twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day. But check this out. I want to know for Dennis Wolf, like, what was your highest height of your career, and what is the lowest low? Give you a career.
Highest high. Oh man, definitely the World Championships.
More than the Arnold's?
Well, 2007, of course, right? And
choose
yeah,
one. Choose one. The highest high, not the
Highest
3
high.
highest ones.
There's, man, if you you can talk about wins, and you can talk about the best.
Your feeling and how it meant to you, you know, perseverance.
I think it's 2007, because I made my name. 2007 was the year of the years, because before that I was kind of fighting to get the recognition in the Pro League, and after 2007 everybody knew who I was. So, and the lowest low is of course my comeback 2018. So not just because I look not the way I you know, used to look, but also like that feeling on stage is just no connection. It's like I felt like I'm in a total different sports, you know. So it was not me who was you know, favorite for the title, or, you know, being in top 3 or top 5 at the Olympia or so. But it was just, man, I felt so weird and so bad, you know. Of course, I felt the support from the fans, but myself, like being on stage, kind of, yeah, that felt horrible. Yeah.
Do you guys? I just want to bring this up real quick. Do you guys hear the story that's going around now with Hatti's manager accusing him of synthol?
Yeah.
You hear that bullshit?
I read something on YouTube, like some videos.
Yeah.
Now, why now?
It sounds like the ex-manager is bitter. Sounds like a bitter. They have some issues, I guess, with the YouTube's page that it's originally from the manager. He created it, but he put it in Hatti's name, and then after he took it back, and so on and so forth. Anyways, so that's where people talk about now. We knew that he was using synthol. I do not believe he uses synthol. I believe that, to me, it looks like, he just, put the stuff in his shoulders. Yeah, that's what I see.
We all have to put somewhere. Yeah,
but people that's utilizing too much of that, looking for results.
Yeah, I mean,
instead of going into the gym and actually earning it, it's still is going to be a different look.
Yeah,
I mean, my quads were squared off every time. I didn't put anything in my legs, but I know a lot of people did, and I don't like these big swooping this and big swooping that, especially when it don't look like it's actually humanly possible. That's where I get a little upset about it, because I'm like, damn, do you know damn well you didn't do that in the gym? Like, why are you even coming out here with that?
He said, Chris, you didn't do that in the gym.
You didn't do it in the gym. Like, what are we supposed to be doing, man?
But I tell you, because I'm guilty of it, I made complete fool out of myself. I mean, what I did with my arms is ridiculous. I mean, I'm ashamed, okay? But I could see psychology of the people, right? We are taking anything on earth, anabolics and GH, insulin, diuretics, right? So then you hear somebody is using some specific oil and makes the small body parts expand. And then you hear some big names, right, using it. So let me try it. I mean, this is human nature. So I would be first one to say, stay away from synthol. It's going to ruin your career, and you're looking at one guy. If I didn't do the synthol, I would probably compete much longer. It
shortens your career.
Yeah, shortens career, and listen, destroys the muscle tissue.
Calves gone.
Yeah.
Your lats will be gone.
Absolutely.
Will be gone.
It creates.
You see some guys on the stage today, the lats are leaving. The Christmas tree is getting bigger. It's becoming a forest. It's not a Christmas tree no more. It's a fucking forest now.
Yeah, it is anatomically incorrect. And you have a fibrosis and necrosis, fibrotic tissue, necrotic
circulation is going to be
and
gone.
Just atrophies. Yeah. So it's selling your soul to the devil.
So
but you're going to get something in the beginning, and then he's going to come and claim it. It's going to ruin your career.
But Milos, in your case, and I'm glad you open about it. But what did you realize after using it? What was the issue?
Listen, I mean, you know how it is. I heard many times, if I have a bigger arms, it will be much more competitive, right? And my arms were defined, it's smaller, but I could get away with it. I used back in the day aceclane, like most of us did, for Mabalone, which is an anabolic steroid. So it's just like injecting anabolics, but it does have that swelling effect and actually make the muscle tighter looking. So it looks even more impressive. This is oil that supposedly, right, binds to your muscle fiber and volumizes it. The sellers are going to tell you the story. They want you to hear it, and you want to believe that. So, I'm just going to get it. So anyway, my arms start blowing up, and I went to like 22 and a half inches. Like,
I know, but at what point did you see or not see? Is like, I think this is going overboard. I got to stop.
Yeah, it's going. I kind of noticed it. Like 99, I already used it for the Ironman when I placed second to Chris. And your arms improved, but you can already see I lost the definition, no separation, kind of funky. But then it's okay. Let me do a little bit. I need more peak. So I did that. I did for the next show.
Don't go in the gym and do it.
And listen, it looked so ridiculous. It was like Mount Everest. I raised my arm and the peak is like, oh shit. And I remember Bob Kennedy from Muscle Mag. He came to me and said, listen, man, you have that beautiful physique. One of my favorites. Stop ruining it, right? It looks stupid. But now I'm thinking, okay, I created that peak. So I have to shoot now the lower bicep, to lose that peak, right? And then it looked like a brick. I mean, I know that, you know, people that want to bring me down, they're going to hear this and then they're going to post pictures all over the internet with my pictures. 99 Night of the Champions. Oh my God, it was embarrassing. It looks really like I opened the skin, somebody implanted the brick, and you know, like you squeeze, nothing happens. You know, it's just there. It's there regardless if you squeeze or you stretch or you shorten, doesn't matter. So this is what we see with some of the guys, right? When the muscle doesn't move, loses all
move. Same size.
There's another guy in the news right now, and I think Milos, you work with him.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Super cool guy.
I know. I used to years ago when he was an amateur. I worked with him for a couple of years. Beautiful couple, him and his wife.
Yes.
What the fuck is happening?
Well, you see, when I started working with him, that was already the case. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I don't want to mention the names, but everybody knows.
I'm trying to get an idea.
And the thing is, look, loves bodybuilding. It's most passionate, like you can't even imagine, right? But he has ruined his physique with the shots. That he cannot go unnoticed.
Completely. I mean, Chris, arms, legs. I mean, it's just everywhere.
So I said, like, okay, and he's not using anything for a couple of years now, but this is aftermath of what he did before. He just does not go back to normal, you know, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah, he just competed and I think they marked him down to dead last.
But you're gonna have a lot of damaged muscle that's deteriorating the muscle fiber. You're tearing it that way. You got a substance in the muscle. You're trying to contract it and trying to train it, and then that's where people are, you know, are getting in a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah. It's a shortcut that nobody should take.
No.
I just said the way I understand some people, because I've been there, you know, when they tell you, hey, listen, you can be a major Olympia factor with the bigger arms. I say, okay, you know, that's what you want. That's what I'm going to get you. And look, I was given a box to give it to Flex Wheeler, right? It's a 97 Olympia, yeah. So when I find out what was that, I asked, can I keep half, right? You know, so this, and I'm sure that everybody that is in the bodybuilding, they would be, oh shit, you want a bigger arms, you want a bigger calves, you want to, you know, and that's what they're doing. But I'm a living proof that single-handedly synthol ruined my career. If I didn't do it, I could have competed and did more than 100 shows, you know, beat Chris Comier's record and Dexter Jackson, you know.
Yeah,
when I came up, I didn't even know that this was something the guys use. I had no clue in the beginning until I was informed otherwise. You know, I thought, you know, coming up when I was looking at the magazines, I thought these guys are all just train hard, man, and just use regular anabolics, but I didn't know nothing about them using Clean or synthol. I had no clue.
The German guy, you know, Manfred Holbert?
Herbal. Yeah, with those fucking huge triceps hanging off him.
Yeah.
So you didn't think that was fake?
No, I know, but I'm talking about before that.
Yeah.
But at that time, I already knew. I knew that was
with
fake.
those things.
Huh?
That dude made money with those things.
Yeah. Manfred Herbal. He was from Austria. But no, before, when I think it was before I turned pro, I mean, I was looking at magazines, Flex Wheeler, you guys. I didn't think that there was something like this involved. I had no idea. I
was the least amount shot up bodybuilder in my time, I think. As far as going up to the Olympia. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You're least what?
I bet on it. The least amount shot up, very least out of the people that was in front of me. The very least. I go to the bank with that one. Yeah. We all had the same masseuse. The same masseuse told me the same thing.
Yeah.
Same shit. I mean, I always thought you had to have if you get close to the realest look, most authentic look as far as not having some astronomical, I mean, some of these guys don't have big old legs. I know damn well they're not training that hard. I know damn well I'm watching how they train. There's no way they can have that type of muscle with that type of.
But how would that shit work in the legs? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
That wasn't
How
my
would
fault.
it? How can someone think that you're going to use this oil and you're going to create a bodybuilder? How does that work?
That's what I see happening. That's what I see happening, brother.
Yeah, but then
It
you
started
see,
with the-
but then you see things like the guy I was just talking about. Then you see that
Yeah,
shit
for
because
sure.
you know he.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time, but it's gonna happen. They're gonna be fucked from it.
Yeah, Dennis Wolf, right? You had a beautiful fucking legs, quads,
Thank you.
sweeping. What was your workouts? I mean, did you do the squats?
Basically, yeah, almost every workout, yeah, I did squats. But I never went over like 4-5 plates each side on you know, on the rack. So I was just doing my working sets, man. And honestly, I can tell after I finished squats, right, I couldn't have been done with the training because I
go
couldn't
home.
move anymore. I couldn't walk, but still did another 2 exercises just to kind of, because it's in my routine. But basically, hey, that functioned so well, you know. That's what I call my muscle connection. I
Yeah.
could squat like I don't know, do like 6 or 7 sets, and I'll be fine. I'll be so pumped. The legs are, hey, I couldn't even bend them, man.
Beautiful. Chris, did you do squats?
I did do squats. I wish I didn't, but I did because I thought that you needed to. And you know, the leg extensions, the leg press, the hack squats. I had a strong hack squat. So I got some video doing, you know, 8 to 10 plates on a hack. I was very strong at that. My squats, I was able to go up to, you know, 5, 6, 7 plates. And leg press, I was doing 30 some plates for 20 reps type of thing.
Shit.
So I had some.
But you did squats majorly, right?
Yeah.
How many guys?
I did 2 sets of 40 with 315.
Ah,
I did
315 for. Dennis, you too, right? You were squatting every.
Oh
every,
shit! Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many guys do you see squat today? Really?
Well, I don't think. See, we don't see a lot of training videos no more. So.
Y'all doing spoofs and little commercials and shit.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, is it because we have this old timers, old farts, whatever. You know, when we talk about our times, what is the notion now? Overtraining. All of us train twice a day, 6 days a week. You know, back in the day, right? Especially when you're young, up and coming. You know, you're going on the pro scene. This is your life. This is how you're going to make a living. You know, we train 6 days a week, twice a day, right? We were picking the hardest possible exercises, not most comfortable possible exercises, just to check mark. Okay, I trained today. I train, right? You go balls to the wall, right? Our diets, you know, I know our diets. We were suffering, you know, to achieve that kind of conditioning. Okay, because every time when I get in this discussion and they say I'm talking down on today's, times are changing, comfort zone is here, and now everybody wants to stay in this comfort zone. It's all overtraining, less is more, right? So don't train, take a day off. What the hell? You're the pro bodybuilder. All you have to do is train, eat, sleep. What the hell? But squat is, I don't remember last time I've seen in any gym anybody squatting. So that's why I'm asking you. I mean, Chris, you know, if
You know what? I think the girls squat more than the guys now.
more, yeah,
Because
sure.
they're trying to get that ass.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Right.
It's true. Maybe, yeah. I don't see it. You still see some of the guys. You know, you look at guys like, you know, like James Hollingshead. You know, those guys are still, you know, they give me the feeling like old school bodybuilding. The way he trains is heavy and does all the right stuff. So, but there's still guys out there doing squats. We don't see it.
Of course.
It's not like you know. That's
Sean
not.
Clarita, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, for the guys now, you know, what is squat going to do on the internet? So they probably just squat and just do their thing when they're by themselves and put other stuff on Instagram that looks better than squatting.
Okay, here, I was asked this question, so I want to ask all three of you. If you can choose only one exercise only for each body part, what would it be? Okay, Dennis, let me start with you, DJ.
For what
Chest.
body? What chest?
One exercise only.
Chest.
Yeah.
Incline bench.
A back.
Pull-ups.
Good. Legs.
Squats.
Good. Shoulders. I know it's 3 heads, but just one.
Side laterals.
Good. Bicep.
Biceps. Barbell curls.
Okay. Tricep.
French press.
Okay. And the calves. Oh no, and the hamstring also.
Fuck the calves.
I mean,
Calves,
anything for calves.
standing calf raises.
And the hamstring.
Lying leg curls.
Okay. Dennis Wolf. I want to hear. I'm serious because it's super interesting for me. I had a 5 out of 8 for you. The same.
Oh,
same, same Dennis.
Yeah.
The one exercise for each body part. If there's only one thing you can do, what would you do?
Chest.
Or recommend?
All right. We start with chest.
Chest.
Yeah, I'll pick incline bench press.
Okay. The back.
Rows.
Okay. What kind?
Any kind.
Any kind.
No, you have to choose one.
Yeah.
Play the game.
Seated cable rows.
Okay, low pulley cable. Okay. Shoulders.
Man, side lateral.
So that's the way. A tricep.
I'll say cable push downs.
Okay. A bicep.
One arm curls.
Which way?
Which arm?
No, which way? I mean, it could be see the dumbbell curls or concentration curls or what?
No, just normal.
Just normal.
Standing.
Ultimate
One by
biceps curl. And hamstring?
Hamstrings, one leg. Hamstrings. What is it? How you call it? Like you're standing one.
Standing leg curl?
Over a little bit.
Okay, standing. Okay.
Yeah,
Or kneeling.
Yeah, kneeling single
Kneeling
legs,
or
single leg
standing.
curls.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Chris?
I would say incline press.
Oh, I didn't ask for legs. Legs, quads, Dennis?
Squat.
Squats, good. Okay, Chris?
I say incline press for chest. I say bent over row for back. I say shoulder presses for delts. I like a rope crunch for abs.
Oh, yeah.
Say squat. I would say leg press. No, I would say leg extensions for legs. And I would say line leg curl for hamstrings. I would say donkey calf raises for calves.
And arms?
Arms, I would do standing barbell.
And tricep?
Tricep stand push down, cable push downs.
Okay, push down. Yeah. All right. I mean, so I would do squats, absolutely. King of all the legs exercises. I know that you said leg extension is more isolating, but you're not going to build a huge legs on leg extensions only, right?
They'd be developed.
Yeah, but if you can use one. The pull-ups, it's king of all back exercises. You can't beat that. You guys all did the incline barbell for chest. I did the flat flies because they're incline barbells. There you can still push with the shoulders and triceps and all that stuff. Really, dumbbell flies, if you master it, it's more isolating, and then you can add the weight. I think it's probably one of the most isolating chest exercises. Triceps, French press, what you guys said, but I still think push down. Push down. That's elbow flexion, elbow extension. So perfect. Shoulders, side laterals, yeah, for sure. Biceps, I would do the concentration calls because again, it's no cheating, and you can use quite heavy weight. And it's no better mind-muscle connection than that. By the way, Flex Lewis is texting me right now. The abs, I like high pulley cable crunches, but I like hanging leg raises, and hamstring laying leg curl. Nothing beats that. And finally, calf, I will do the donkey calf raise. Yeah, somebody was questioning me. I said, like, I wonder how many of old school guys would say, pretty much, we all have like about 5 of the same ones out of 8.
Yeah. On that note, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Another old school roundtable in the books. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dennis Wolf, for coming on.
Yeah, good to see you,
Milos,
Dennis.
Chris,
Nice to get Dennis.
Thank you
Good
guys.
to see you, Dennis.
And we're going to do this again next week. So thank you guys for the time.
Peace.
And tell Flex Lewis that I'm mad at him
Okay.
for never fucking replying to my messages. I mean, I'm not talking about, I mean, never.
Never.
It's like either
That's a new school, man.
Yeah.
That's a new school.
yeah, tell him I said so. He used to be so nice to me, you know. I mean, now he wouldn't even fucking text me back.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Left you
I'll
on
find
read.
out.
Just reading it. You just say you're reading it and leaving it.
Yeah. No. So, because he just posted a message not too long ago telling people he's got a new phone, and basically this is the reason why people didn't hear from him. I said hopefully I get my reply now, and I still didn't get a reply.
Okay, I'll
Tell him when
I'll find out firsthand.
Yeah, tell him he owes me lunch.
Slide up in the DM.
Maybe I should slide in his DMs. No, but tell him to read my text.
Okay, I will.
Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much, man. I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care.
See you, man.
Peace out.